You want to drive it?
Yes.
Oh, that's so awesome. Ah, that's amazing.
Yep.
I just did that in a CUV. Oh,
In an electric car.
I love it.
Hey Gearheads, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you get notified every time we upload a video.
And if you want to know some behind the scenes of some of the wild and crazy things we're driving, be sure to check us out both on Facebook and Instagram at GT Garage Talk. And everything that we've got going on can be found at gtgaragetalk.com.
Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Cory.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach E Premium Extended Range All-Wheel Drive.
Yeah,
I think I got it all in there.
that's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, but there are so many different options.
Right.
Powertrains
Yeah.
and
Batteries,
configurations inside and luxury
engines
levels.
or no engines and all kinds of craziness.
Yeah, you got to be very specific with this.
Right.
And we have had this on loan to us from our good friends at Ford Motor Company,
Yes.
FMOCO, as you graciously call them.
Yes.
And we've put it through its paces. I've road tripped it to Amarillo and
Right.
back.
That was
Put
your
it-
own fault.
Put it over 1,200 miles on it on that trip alone.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Learned a lot on that road trip.
Yeah.
And then,
Wait, hold on.
okay.
So if you Google from Tyler, Texas to Amarillo, Texas,
Yep.
it's approximately 7.5 hours.
Right.
How long did it take you to go from
I don't want to spoil
from
that.
Pelche?
You're just going to have to go watch that video and find out exactly what it's like road tripping one of these for that long a time.
It was every bit of the 7.5 that Google says it should be.
Yeah, and maybe then a little bit more. But that's neither here nor there because we also raced each other. So we've got a couple of very different press rigs right now.
Yeah.
Our camera is currently sitting in the back of one of them in the 21 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro.
Right?
But I was not in that.
No.
I was
No.
in or on what is right behind our camera with a bicycle that I purchased from Walmart.
Right.
And we raced
Not
across
sponsored.
Tyler.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored at all. We raced across Tyler for a rematch of our last zero emission race.
Right.
Links to both of those races
Oh my.
down in the comments. But what we are truly here to talk about today is not all the fun stuff we've done in it, but what is this vehicle like? What are our impressions of it? And would we recommend it?
I took it home and plugged it in to a 110 plug.
Right,
Okay.
right.
I'll give you that one. Right. I woke up the next morning after approximately 10 hours of charge to a car that only had 34% charge on it after 10 hours.
Okay. So that is the problem with press loaners is that this was given to us. We did not go out and purchase it and all the accompanying accoutrement
Right.
that would go with buying into the EV lifestyle. If you were to buy this car and have it as your daily driver, absolutely have an electrician run a 220 plug into your garage. And this actually comes with everything that you would need to plug in and go 110 or 220.
Right.
And we highly recommend the 220 because it charges at about 3 miles per hour on a 110 plug. It bumps all the way up to 21 miles per hour on a 220. So
a different kind of miles per hour than I'm used to for sure.
Right. So first things first, if you are to buy this for your daily vehicle, absolutely have a 220 with quick access that you can plug in and charge overnight.
Yeah.
And with that, I think you would have no problems whatsoever living with this daily.
Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, you know, we were pushing it to its max. You took it on a road trip and had drained the batteries multiple times on that trip.
Absolutely.
And then handed it to me with, I mean, essentially next to nothing. And so
I was
for the
about
first,
there too.
yeah. For the first, 6 hours of me being behind the wheel, 3 of those were it sitting on a charger.
Right.
And not your fault, not anybody specifically's fault, but it certainly left a sour taste in my mouth when I know that the Tacoma, the other rig that we're reviewing at the moment, if you had handed it to me with a quarter of a tank of fuel in it, I could have stopped in at the gas station on the way to my house and filled it up completely in 10 minutes.
So that's another interesting point about this is the infrastructure. And I go into a lot of detail on my road trip video. But here in Tyler, Texas, I would say that the infrastructure just is not quite here yet. Public chargers here in Tyler are few and far between. And
well, we've found what, 2?
Yeah. Well, let's see. BMW's got one. Mercedes has one.
Yeah. Which also is behind the gate.
Right.
And
so, yeah.
Fresh by Brookshire's is the only one
110 plugs
that has, and it's a 110. So I mean, again, like, you're being nice by saying that we're behind here in Tyler with the infrastructure. It's non-existent. Right. It is not here.
And the DC fast chargers that really, seriously, 20 to 80% in a half hour or more.
Right.
When I got to the first Electrify America fast charger and saw how quickly that percentage was climbing, game changer.
Sure.
Now, for the health of the battery, you don't want to do that all the time. You don't want that to be your sole source of charging. You want it to slow charge overnight. That is what these are meant for, is to plug in overnight and be ready to go in the morning. So again, having that electrician run that 220 for you is essential.
This is supposed to be the salvation of the auto industry, right? The EV is the future. It's the thing. It ain't here yet. We're a long ways from the future. Yeah, we have incredible vehicles that are stupid quick, and to be honest, it's a lot of fun to drive. I'm not there.
We can talk all day out here next to the car,
right,
and rag on it, or we can get behind the wheel and put a smile on your face.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
2021 Mustang Mach E.
Yes.
It even sounds weird saying Mustang.
Yeah, so I guess I was able to accept the fact that this is officially a Mustang.
Right.
Being that I'm a Camaro guy. So I was just like, okay, if that's what Ford wants to do, that's what Ford wants to do.
Yeah.
And then actually putting 1,200 miles on it, I found out some things I absolutely loved about it, and naturally some things I would want changed.
Right.
But all around.
The important thing is what? You fell in love with this rig, didn't you?
Yes, surprisingly. And again, I'm gearhead. I love muscle cars. I want a V8 powered car with that rumble.
Right.
But for a fun vehicle, this is fun in a way I haven't experienced in many other vehicles.
Yeah.
Because 0 to 60, 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds in a car that very comfortably can take everyone. And my kid loved it. My wife, who is anti-tech, came around on it.
Yeah.
The interior fit and finish is like no Ford I've been in recently, and puts Teslas to shame.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
The fact that I can actually move the vents with my hands instead of having to do it through the screen.
Right.
The fact that it has instant torque, just like that, and it'll just
it's 60.
Go. Oh my goodness. This was so well placed.
Yeah.
Going through Dallas traffic.
Yes. Okay.
The one pedal driving, as you lift off the accelerator, it's not the gas, it's not the throttle. As you lift off the accelerator, the regen will kick in and start slowing you down.
And it's not violent. It's not, I mean, there's a very nice transition. All the nannies are screaming at me again, Cory.
Gotta learn how to drive, man.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, the one pedal driving is it. Once you figure it out, once you learn exactly where everything is, where the let off is, where it all kicks into place.
Sure.
It made for seamless driving through traffic, because I could see and tell when the vehicle in front of me was going to be slowing down enough that I would let off the accelerator and never had to touch the brake.
Yep.
I wasn't going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
And
so for me, I don't like the nannies. I don't like the lane keep.
Right.
And the collision mitigation stuff was hollering at me. I did that a couple of times in our race.
Right.
And the one bit of tech that I actually enjoy in this rig is the one pedal driving.
And I foresee that creeping in to internal combustion cars just a little bit, because off-road vehicles are starting to incorporate it for rock crawling and things like that. I almost said Colorado. The Chevy Silverado ZR2 will do one pedal rock crawling.
Yeah.
So it's creeping in. It's not quite the same.
It's not
Application in a gas vehicle, but it sure made for easy traffic driving in this. And then that instant torque, getting around vehicles that were just going too dang slow, made cruising the highway a breeze. Like this, aside from the range shortfalls, is a perfect road trip rig. The seats are so comfortable.
Seats are very nice.
The only thing I wish the seats had were ventilation.
Armrests. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I like the old school flip down. Like, this is just a little wide for my liking, but it's ergonomically it's nice. I don't like the shifter.
Yeah.
But
rotary dial shifter. But what's good about it is you can hop out and it puts it in park for you.
It does. And you just reach up and turn it off and it'll also put it in park for you.
So, there it is, right in the gut. It's addictive, is it not?
It is very addictive.
I found myself doing that so much.
For the sake of hunting around and goofing off, it's silver, so no one pays it any mind.
Nope.
It's a CUV,
so nobody
pays it any mind. But this thing will fly.
So you say that nobody pays it any mind, but again, going back to my 1,200 miles to and from Amarillo,
right?
And even you and I filming around here, we have had several people with
rubbernecking.
Yeah, with powerful cars, with sports cars, with cars that they're
actually make noise.
Yeah, and they're like checking it out, like what is that? Is that what I think it is?
Yeah.
Partly, I believe, because again, it's got that Mustang badge on it, but it's a crossover.
It is.
And two, there aren't that many of these on the road right now with the vehicle shortage. So it's a twofold thing, but all in all, it is a very compelling package. And I thought that this glass roof would be a problem. Keep in mind, I took it to the bottom of Palo Duro Canyon in the panhandle of Texas, and we got back in the car and it was not a scorcher in here. Yeah, granted, I did remote start it.
Well, of course, sure.
It is tinted very heavily. So far, we have not had it in the dead heat of Texas summer, but it's currently 92 degrees outside. The air conditioning's not working too hard, and I'm comfortable in it.
Yeah, I mean, comfortable is a good word for it. It has one huge demerit for me, and it's a big Texas demerit, and that is no cooled seats.
Yes.
So
back to my one thing I wish the seats had is the cooled ventilated seats. Yeah, that especially if you're going to have a glass roof.
Right.
I think that is almost a recommended standard accompanying feature.
I would agree. In the short amount of time that I've had it in Mexico on the highway, it at 110 is still pulling as hard as it's pulling at 40 miles an hour.
It doesn't break a sweat. It's got that one speed transmission in it, so it just goes.
And you do hear the motors at 100 miles an hour. They're getting after it.
But all in all, I was just really impressed with this entire package. The biggest demerit for me is the range.
Yes.
At 100% charge, the biggest number I've seen on the gauge is 277. And if you are road tripping it in DC fast charging, for the sake of battery health, they recommend not going above 80. And in fact, the chargers will slow you down at 80 to a trickle, so you might as well be plugged into a 110.
Yeah.
And that put us at somewhere around 190. And that is not a usable road trip range.
Not at all.
And if this had 300 miles of usable range, so 380 to 400 total range, that I think would be the game changer for this vehicle.
I think it would make a big difference. I mean, you consider like 4-hour drive time, 4 to 5 hour drive time. Typically, in that same amount of time, you know, if you have breakfast first thing in the morning, you drive for 4 hours, it's lunchtime.
Right.
So, you know, building the infrastructure around restaurants and things like that so that, yeah, you pull off, it means your trip's a little longer, but you pull off, you plug in, it can run for 30 minutes to an hour while you're eating, and come back, and hey, you can go another 4 hours. That would make a huge difference. But having less than 200 at 80%, it's not feasible.
Yeah. So basically every 2 hours you're charging this, and if you could make it 4 on a charge, I think that is the golden number that manufacturers need to start hitting to make EVs viable as the only vehicle in your garage.
I would agree.
Until then, it's just not quite there.
Yep. Come on, Ford, we need range. Please give us range. The fun factor is there.
All right. So you always turn it off. I want everyone to know exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, my
in
Lord.
Unbridled.
Do you have to?
Yes.
Do you really have
yes,
to?
I do. There we got some more rubberneckers. It's very interesting, the people that want to know more about this vehicle.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know if it's the Mustang badges on it, if it's the shape, or if they truly know what it is, and just got to check it out because it's the first time they've seen it.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. All right, Matt, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my.
It's just so good. Look at it. And it just, no matter where you are, it just goes.
Yep.
It just goes.
And goes and,
And goes and goes. It is a very, very fun car. It is a fun car. So, we have to talk about this big screen.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Literally.
And it's the exact same screen Ford is putting the F-150 Lightning.
Which is twice this. I mean, the truck itself is a lot bigger. So, in that regard, I don't think it'll be as intrusive. But this is over the top.
Yeah. That being said, I do like the features of it. You've got this little tray down here that remembers some of the last things that you've done.
Right.
Pulls up your trip. It's got a lot of good information. It looks like an afterthought, and it's tacked on.
Yeah.
And I could use something different.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a big widescreen. I don't know.
That was my first thought. Turn it sideways.
Yeah.
That would make a big difference. It would get it down out of the dash a little bit, and I think make it feel not so in your face.
Now, we can't crank up the stereo on this review because we don't have to pay royalties, but this has got a B&O Bang & Olufsen sound system in it, and I was actually very impressed. It's got a very good sound system in it, which, again, for a road trip rig, good sound system is necessary.
It is, definitely.
And there's so much room in the back that with the seats folded, I was able to get a 29-inch mountain bike in the back. So this is a capable vehicle for the active lifestyle as well.
It may say Mustang, but it's still a CUV.
When was the last time you were able to get a 29-inch mountain bike in the back of a Mustang?
That wasn't
Never?
in pieces?
So, yeah, I was able to throw it in the back, pull it out, ride it, race you,
Yeah.
throw it back in and go. Very practical vehicle. Again, short of the range and the charging infrastructure.
Yeah.
If you lived in a big metro area, so
Yeah.
closest one to us would be the DFW Metroplex.
Right.
It would make even more sense than it does for us here in Tyler, Texas. And that's because there are a good amount of DC fast chargers in the area. Here, not so much. But again, using it for your day-to-day commute, as long as you're not draining it below 50% every day,
Sure.
you should be able to plug it in 110 or 220 and be good to go
And
the
we
next
could go
day.
in. Yeah.
All right, Matt. Final thoughts and opinions before we have to give this back.
You're asking me?
Yes.
Okay. You ready?
Brace myself.
This is the dad joke of EVs.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, do tell.
The punchline is there,
Okay.
right? It is effective,
Yes.
but it's not a Mustang.
Okay.
It's overdone. The body lines are all trying to be hiding out with the black plastic
Yep.
stuff, and
Yep.
the all-wheel drive it's really good, but it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like a Mustang should light the tires and leave long black marks. This thing just disappears.
So you say dad joke. I had my 3-year-old son riding in the back, and he was giving me the countdown time after time after time. This is definitely the dad's Mustang.
Yeah.
For a young family.
Well, what about you? What's your thoughts? What's your takeaway
Okay,
from the Mustang?
hot
Mach
take.
E,
Camaro guy,
right?
Chevy guy.
Uh-huh.
I kind of like it. Like, it would not be my only car. It would
Okay.
not be the only car in our family. But there is a lot to like about this car.
Like wasn't the word you used with me
Okay.
earlier. Come on,
I
on
kind of
camera.
love this car, man.
I want to hear it.
I don't like the silver. I would get it in a totally different color.
Okay.
The GT, with its 3.5 second 0 to 60, has
Yeah.
my attention, but you sacrifice so much in range, which was my ultimate gripe with this.
Yeah.
Taking it to Amarillo and back.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah.
again, I don't want to spoil anything. Links to that video down in the description below. But this thing has been a joy, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna be sad when it leaves. There's a lot to like about it. My son is gonna be sad when
Yeah.
it leaves
Yeah.
because I kid you not, Daddy, ready, set, go. Now we're to accelerate and slow back down. Daddy, ready, set, go. Accelerate and go back down. So there are some weird EV things about it. The door handles, the button to open the door. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But what this really does for me, more than anything else, this gets me excited for the F-150 Lightning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I think that fixes 99% of the problems I have with this.
I hope it does. It
And-
won't fix the infrastructure.
Ford, if you are watching, which I hope you are, I am very interested to test a Lightning.
Oh, yeah.
After testing this and road tripping it across Texas.
Oh, and I would agree with you in that regard. It is outside of the infrastructure, which is it's half the town's fault and it's half the manufacturer's fault.
Yeah.
You build a vehicle that can only be done in certain ways and charged in certain ways, and you don't add in the charging to be able, even if you're paying for it, right? Even if you go in, scan your card, and you're the one fronting the bill for the electricity going into this thing, the infrastructure's not there. Yeah. That's my biggest holdup with this. Driving, in fact, I live literally 2 miles from work. An EV makes a whole lot of sense on that trip right there, and I guarantee you I wouldn't use 10%. So plugging it in even to a 110 overnight wouldn't be that big a deal, but I can't take this to Dallas. I can't.
You absolutely could. You would just have to find a charger when you're there. And a fast charger, you'd be there in a heartbeat.
I can't do it.
So that answers my big question.
I'm not there yet.
Would you buy it?
Nope, I'm not there yet.
I might. I've been on building price quite a bit. I've weighed the pros and cons. Like I said, I was looking at the GT and just the sacrifice you made. This is the most fun configuration outside the GT. 0 to 60 in 4.8, which for a vehicle that can comfortably haul 5 people.
Right.
And on that road trip, we did not get uncomfortable in the seat. So it is a very comfortable car that rides very well.
Yeah.
It checked a lot of boxes, but it absolutely would not be the only car in my garage.
No, we're not there yet as a nation, and yeah, I'm not there yet when it comes to EVs.
And on that potential hot take, there you have it. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, go check us out on Facebook and Instagram, both at GT Garage Talk. And until next time,
leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think about this monster. Tell us how wrong we are about EVs.
I do believe the nation is split, but until next time, bye. It is a fun car.
There's a cop right up here, by the way.
Okay.